prompt when you're beginning at 6:30. I'm really proud of us. Thank you all for being here tonight. My name is Jenny McQuillan. I'm the president of the Villa Park Women's Club. The Villa Park Women's Club is a dedicated community organization composed of women committed to serving and supporting the village of Villa Park. We currently have one main fundraiser in the fall. That's our Trick or Trot 5K and Little Devil Dash 1K. This fundraiser helps us to give back to the residents of Villa Park. And one of the ways we give back every 2 years is by hosting this political forum. We believe it is essential for every resident to be informed about all candidates, their ideas, and their plans for representing the community in our local government. With the funds we raise, we are also able to donate to Villa Park families during the holiday season, and we also provide scholarships to graduating seniors who reside in Villa Park. Additionally, we are able to help individuals and families in need in the community as those needs arise and are brought to our attention. While our organization's main focus is providing service and support to our community, we're also a social group of women seeking out a deeper connection in our community. We are currently meeting one time each month on rotating days. Please visit our website at villaparkwomensclub.com. It recently changed for more information. We also have back in the corner and in some areas we have a list of our meetings that are coming up in the next few months. You can snap a picture and join us at any of those meetings. We also have a sheet, I know, over in the back. It looks like this, just for information about early voting, which starts on Monday, March 17th, and I highlighted the locations that are nearest to Villa Park. So take a picture of that, and you can have that for reference. Some other housekeeping is that we have 2 bathrooms in the back, and there's another bathroom in the hallway. And our fire exits are back through the bar area, and also there's a door that's more to the back of the room that goes through the patio and outside. And I would like to thank Debbie DeVito for allowing us to utilize her beautiful space this evening. And I also want to thank you all for being here. I'm very excited to see how many people are here and interested in learning about our candidates. And now I am going to turn it over to Rachel, our moderator.
All right, welcome everybody. On behalf of the Villa Park Women's Club, we would like to welcome you to tonight's Candidates Forum. My name is Rachel Hauser, and I will be your moderator this year. Again, the Villa Park Women's Club is pleased to have the opportunity to help the residents of Villa Park make informed decisions on Election Day, Tuesday, April 1st. Don't forget. Please note that our club does not endorse candidates. We do not do that. And we are just simply providing a public service to give you all the information to make your own decisions. This 2025 forum is full with 18 candidates, and we appreciate everyone's patience as we not only transition the various groups this evening, but we also are broadcasting live on our Facebook page. And we apologize in advance if there's any technical glitches to our folks watching online, and a recording will be available later, which I'll talk about at the end also. We're beginning tonight with our District 45 School Board, followed by the Villa Park Library Trustee candidates, followed by Villa Park Village Trustee candidates, and finally we will wrap up the forum with our Villa Park Village Presidential candidates. We did want to note that District 48 School Board and District 88 School Board elections are uncontested this year, and that's why we have none of those candidates this evening. Each candidate will be given 2 minutes to introduce themselves and answer these 2 questions. What made you decide to run for office? And what do you love most about Villa Park? They will then each have 2 minutes to answer 2 additional questions that we received from residents in advance of today's forum. Additionally, we will be randomly drawing candidates' names for the order of questions. We have 1 member right here of the Villa Park Women's Club, and and Political Forum Committee will be holding up countdown signs. So if you're up here speaking, please pay attention to her because I have no problem cutting you off when your 2 minutes are done. So, and because we want to be respectful of everyone's time. Also, anyone who was here last year, we will not be repeating the question every 2 minutes. So let's all be grateful for that. And just as a reminder, there are no questions that we're taking today. That's why we sought the community's input before this evening. So our D45 candidates are as follows. We have Sarah Godzicki, Kelly Bay, Emily Schultz, Judith Degnan, and Deborah Kane. So you guys, right? Thank you for being here. So I'm gonna pull up your names randomly, okay? And then once your name is, well, I'll reach, am I reading the questions first?
Well, this is the introduction.
Yes, just kidding. Okay, introduction. All right, Kelly May, you're gonna start us off.
Hi, my name is Kelly May, and I was elected to the District 45 Board of Education in 2021. I am proud to say that I am an alumnus of District 45, and I have 3 sons who are currently in the district. My oldest, Josh, is a 6th grader at Jackson Middle School, and my twins, Jordan and Jackson, are in the STARS program in 1st grade at Shaker. My husband, Sean, and I will be celebrating 17 years married this June and 20 years together in November. We also have 2 dogs as well, our 7-year-old twins, Sky and Diesel. My original decision for to run for this position in 2021 was because I wanted to be a voice on the board for all children and families of our community. Having 3 children with special needs made me want to be a strong advocate and a voice for those community members whose voices might be a little harder to hear, and show them that in District 45, everyone's voice matters. I want to empower other community members and help show them that everyone's perspective will be heard. I've enjoyed being able to advocate for inclusion within the many different groups in our district, and I hope for the opportunity to continue in this role. My favorite part of being a member of the Villa Park community is that there are so many opportunities to be involved, and how well I've seen our community come together in both good and trying times. I feel that Villa Park and District 45 is a diamond in the rough, as cliche as that may sound. I am proud to be a part of a community that is willing to help and watch out for each other without hesitation. I feel that we are a community of helpers, and no one is ever alone.
Thank you, Kelly. Just one quick thing, I don't think this was noted earlier. Everyone could just make sure your cell phones are off so that we don't interrupt anyone speaking. That would be great. So just a quick check of your cell phones are appreciated. Thank you. All right, next we are going to have Deborah Kane.
Hello, my name is Deborah Kane, and I am an attorney who works and lives in Villa Park. I grew up in Lombard in District 45. I attended Westmore Elementary School and Jackson Middle School. Growing up, I was privileged to have both my parents serve on the local school boards, with my dad serving on District 45 and my mom is still currently on District 88. From a young age, I was taught the importance of public service and public education. And since then, education has become a real passion of mine. I always knew I wanted to work either in education or be on a school board. And I took every opportunity in my life to learn more about education law and policy. When in law school, making sure to take any class related to education law, disability rights, employment law, and local government. I ultimately decided that the best way for me to serve students and my community would be for me to run for school board, because I felt that that was the best way to advocate for individuals and for students who might be struggling in school, and to make sure that we're giving them the best education that we can. I want to be on the District 45 school board because I grew up in this district. I love this community. I value the opportunities that it gave me, and I want to give back to the community that I grew up in and I work in.
Okay, thank you, Deborah. Next we have Judith Degnan. Sorry, Judith Degnan.
Hi everyone, I'm Judith Degnan, Judy Degnan. I have lived in Villa Park for about 20 years. I have 4 kids that went through the District 45 school system and District 88. I'm an education major. When I went to college, I graduated as a music ed major, and my passion has always been education. We moved to Villa Park because we were looking for a town that our kids could ride their bikes and go ride to their friends and ride to the library and just be independent kids and not one of those subdivisions that has highways right next to them. So it was perfect for us. I've been on the board for 12 years. I've been the president for 8 years. And I feel our board has done some really great things during that time. We got through COVID. And we give kids one-to-one devices. We've instituted new curriculums. We've, we opened a brand new early childhood center, and we finally gave our community full-day kindergarten. So those are great accomplishments for us. Looking forward to being on the board again, to continue all the initiatives we've had in the past and continue to build a strong school for our community, because with a strong school, everything goes from there. Strong schools, strong community, strong neighborhoods. So I hope you'll consider me when you vote on April 1st. Thank you.
Thank you, Judith. Next we have Sarah Gimzicki.
Hi, my name is Sarah Godzicki. My husband Zach and I have been married for just over 14 years now, and we have 2 children that are in the district of School District 45. Excuse me. Our daughter attends Jefferson Middle School, and our son attends Schaefer. They have been attending District 45 schools since they were in 1st grade, because we didn't have full day kindergarten at the time. I have worked for DuPage County for the last 17 years. It'll be 18 years this year, so I do have a background in government. And growing up, my mom held office for the Village of Villa Park. She was the first female president of the village. My dad was on the school board as well, District 45. And I watched both of them get involved in things where they wanted to and could make a difference for their community and for their children. Now that I have kids who are school age, I want to I've become very involved in schools PTAs and within our community and all the different activities that our kids are involved in. And I've learned how things work. I've spoken with other families, with teachers, with staff, and just with community members about how our district is run. And I decided that I too want to make a difference within our community by running for the school board. My goal is to advocate for my children, their peers, and their families, as well as our remarkable staff and teachers within the district. My goal is to make everyone feel listened to and appreciated. And additionally, I want to promote fiscal responsibility and guarantee that our students receive the highest quality of education that they can and help them achieve their full potential. While my family technically lives in Lombard, which 4 of our 6 elementary schools are in, by the way, my husband and I both grew up in Villa Park, and we are just thrilled to be in such a diverse and inclusive community. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Finally, we have Emily Schultz.
Last but not least.
No, turn it around. Other way.
Thank you, Dave. She's our board president, always good to us. First, I want to thank the Villa Park Women's Club for putting on this event and for all the hard work their volunteers have put into organizing it. It's often very difficult to find information about municipal elections, and they are so important. As we always hear, all politics are local. So forums like these are so important for our community. As noted, my name is Emily Schultz. I am running for re-election for District 45 school board member. I'm married with 3 children, all of whom go to, or will go to District 45 schools next year, as my youngest, I cannot believe it, is entering kindergarten next year. I am a long-term resident of Lombard, and my family owns an auto body and repair shop in Villa Park that has operated for 67 years, so we have strong ties to the Villa Park community. I'm also a licensed attorney. I first decided to run for the school board because I saw a growing movement of wanting to dismantle our public education system, and I wanted to do my part for maintaining our fantastic schools in District 45. One of my children is neurodivergent and attended pre-K through District 45, and was able to access our wonderful special education services. When you have a child that is able to access these services that otherwise would not have to be provided in a private school setting, you really appreciate how essential a robust public education system is to our community and especially for our children. My favorite part of Villa Park is just the community. There are a lot of people who grew up in Villa Park and who have left and then come back to raise their families or have continued to live here. It really feels like a giant, tight-knit family, and it has been a wonderful place to raise my children and also to operate our family business. I've enjoyed being able to give back my time by volunteering on the school board, and I feel like I want to give back to my community who has given so much to me and my family. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Emily. So our first question for School District 45 school board candidates is, if elected, what specific changes do you hope to see implemented over the next 4 years? And Deborah Kane will go first.
So the reason I'm running for school board is because I want to make sure that all students have the opportunity to be successful. I was a student that really struggled in school. I had really bad anxiety, and it was really hard for me to get to school, to do my homework, and just succeed. Now, I was lucky. I had parents that were on the school board, so I was able to go home and I was able to say, these are the issues I'm having, and they were able to implement changes that helped all students, not just me. That, to me, was really important to my education and where I am today. And so the reason I'm running for school board is because I want to be there for students like me. I want to make sure that our school is serving everybody. I want to make sure that all students are getting the care that they need, that we're not ignoring anyone, and that we're making sure that every student has the resources available to them. As a school for District 45, we're supposed to make sure our students are prepared for high school, and that when they're in high school, they're getting ready for college or whatever degree or job they want to do afterwards. We're here to make sure that from a young age they're prepared. I think sometimes we forget that what we do in elementary school will impact students forever. What we do in middle school will impact them. And so, if I'm elected to the board, my goal is just to be there for the students and to be there as someone who can ask the questions and really think about the students that are struggling, who are neurodivergent, who have different learning needs, or who are just having a rough time getting through or feel like they're not getting the attention that they deserve. So that is what I hope to be able to do elected to the school board, just be there for the students.
Okay, next up, Sarah Gizicki.
Over the next 4 years, I would love to see District 45 allocate more resources to educate our students about the physical, emotional, and mental risks associated with bullying, fighting, vaping, substance abuse, and alcohol consumption. This education could be incorporated into the existing social emotional learning, or SEL, curriculum. It is essential to inform our children about the real dangers linked to their choices, including the risks of addiction and suicide. While these are tough subjects for anyone to tackle, especially for elementary and middle school aged children, it is crucial that we address them. And we all know that kids don't tend to listen to their parents, so I believe that including it in the school curriculum could be beneficial for them. Additionally, as part of our SEL curriculum, I would love to see the district implement a service requirement in our middle schools, where we can offer opportunities for our students to serve their community, teaching them invaluable social, academic, and life skills, such as volunteering at school and PTA events, writing holiday cards for veterans and seniors, or holding food pantry drives. Thank you.
Next up, Kelly May.
I wouldn't necessarily seek change, but rather continued growth in the area of including the community in things that the district is doing, asking for and allowing opportunities for input and listening to that input as much as possible in practice. I would also like to see us continuing to welcome families into the district, adjusting to the changes we see in our community and beyond, and continuing the ideal of being a district of choice for families as well as for staff. I would also like to see that we continue our inclusivity initiatives that we already are doing by having so many different programs for different, like the needs of the community, including the special needs education and, you know, just the diversity of all of our community.
Next up, we have Emily Schultz.
Got it right this time. One change I'd hope to implement in the next 4 years is a change in our feedback loop for making decisions. This goal is twofold. It's both a personal goal for me as a board member, but also a goal for our district. For the district, I've noticed that our current process for getting feedback from our educators and staff sometimes falls short. Oftentimes, we try to gain feedback by using focus groups or testing out curriculum and furniture and things like that in certain classrooms and then gathering that feedback. But I've noticed that once we implement it to the whole district, that the feedback we get after that can be different. This isn't surprising as each person has different opinions, thoughts, and needs. And it isn't a criticism of our district doing something wrong. Rather, it is more that gaining robust feedback from a wide range of people is just a general difficult task. This is also a goal that I have had as a board member to investigate how I can better receive feedback from all stakeholders. When I started on the board re-implemented communication summarizing the board meetings. But I know as a parent, I'm inundated with communications. And sometimes, despite my best efforts, I'm not able to keep up with everything. I would also like to find ways to connect with other governmental board members and organizations within the community to learn more about their work and what their current challenges are, and to see if there's some overlap in ways we can work together. Board members are able to attend III each year, which is a conference that gives us information on how to be an effective board member. Each year I pick a goal, and my goal this year is to learn how to better communicate and build relationships within our community. And so I want to continue that focus again if I'm re-elected. Thank you.
Judith Degnan.
Hi. So I think it's important for a board member, first and foremost, to really just be an advocate for all students. We have a new initiative that we started this year. It's called Yes We Can. And it's a way for our teachers to collaborate better. It's a way for grade level teachers to come together with our special education teachers and collaborate on ways to have every student be more successful, have every student see grade level work and have the opportunity to excel to the best of their abilities. That's an initiative that our school just took on. It's a great way for our teachers to talk to each other and learn what our students really need. And I want to see that continue, and I know that just started this year. But as a school board member, I really think that we have to take into consideration all the aspects of the question and to really think about how it's going to affect our students and make the best decisions that we can based on the information we have. I've met great people over the last 12 years, and I can safely say that every person I've worked with has that in mind. Kids first, always kids first. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you.
All right, our second question for the school board candidates. What do you believe are the two most important issues the District 45 School Board should address at this time? And Judy, I'm going to invite you.
Sometimes it's kind of nice to go first. Yes. Hi again. So one of the most important issues right now that we're working on is our teacher contract. Our board and our administration has been working with our teachers, meeting to go over language and go over salaries almost, but we're not quite there yet. But you know, our teachers are our number one assets in our schools, next to our kids, right? And we need good teachers. We need to provide them what they need, not just monetarily, but in the classroom with supplies and curriculum and all of those things, so that they can be successful to make our students successful. So I feel like our district right now has a really good relationship with our teachers union, and we work really well together. We talk it out, we try and make the best decisions together, and honestly, that's kind of weird. I like it. I like being there. So the other thing that we're working on this year that will hopefully be implemented next year is our strategic plan. We have a new 5-year strategic plan that we're working on that's going to help us meet our mission and vision. And also, we're working on a portrait of a graduate, which is it's a way to figure out or to put on paper what we want our 8th graders and our students to look like as they leave our buildings. This is something that we've been working with our community. We had a big meeting in the fall with community members, teachers, board members, staff. We've been working with our district leadership team to finalize, and then we're going to hopefully be approving that come in May or April, and then implementing that next year. 2 really important things. Again, thanks to the Junior Women's Club, and thank all of you for your interest.
All right, Sarah Gizicki, you're up next.
One issue I believe needs to be improved is the district's engagement and communication within our community. Parents, teachers, oh my gosh, am I reading? Am I in the wrong place?
So 2 most important issues for the school board.
I'm so sorry, you guys. Whew, can you tell I'm nervous a little bit? District 45 is home to a diverse array of families, each with distinct ethnic, social, and economic backgrounds, and every family in our district deserves the opportunity to express their opinions. As a board member, I commit to being the bridge between those families and the decisions made by the board. While I briefly addressed this in a previous question, I believe one of the biggest challenges we face in District 45 is ensuring the health and safety of our students. As I mentioned, issues such as bullying, fighting, vaping, substance abuse, and alcohol consumption affect many schools, including ours. In fact, 100% of student participants reported experiencing or witnessing or being aware of acts of bullying in 2021. And I have a whole bunch of facts that I can go through, but about 1/5 of our students are being bullied, and there's a lot of suicidal thoughts and ideations out there, and I just feel that addressing these concerns is really important to do, especially at this age where kids are so impressionable. So I really feel strongly that our school district needs to step in and help these kids kind of figure out who they are and who they want to be while they're receiving their education, because who better to teach them, you know, than our amazing teachers and staff. So thank you.
Deborah Kinney, you're next.
Right now, a lot of people are really worried about the state of education in our country. I think there are two really important issues that are facing schools. One is that we make sure that our schools stay a safe environment for our students, no matter their background, their identity, their beliefs, their abilities. It's making sure that our schools are safe. Like Sarah said, we want to make sure that there's no bullying, but we want to make sure that our students are protected, that they feel safe going to school, that they feel that this is an environment that can be themselves and that they can be comfortable. I think that's something that is very important, that as a school board we make sure that we're enforcing those policies, that we're implementing those policies that make students feel school is a safe place. It's a place they want to go, it's a place they want to be. The next thing is that I think there's a lot of unknowns right now with education. I think we're worried about what the funding is going to be like going forward, as well as what different policies are going to be passed and what we're going to be allowed to teach in schools. And I think what's important is that as a school board, we're making sure we're keeping high quality of education. We're making sure that our students are meeting the standards that they need to meet internationally, nationally, that they're learning everything that they need to know to be successful going forward. And making sure that no matter what happens, we're there to protect our students. We're making sure that our programs and the services that we need for that are there. Thank you.
Emily Schultz, you're next.
District 45 has done a great job with fiscal responsibility, but it is not immune to the current political climate and the uncertainty regarding whether it will continue to have access to federal grant funding. Uncertainty is extremely difficult for any board to navigate, as we try our best to base our financial projections off of our current revenue and expenses with the best information that we have available, which makes any sudden changes, like dismantling the Department of Education, extremely difficult to navigate. Our board and district leadership have been able to navigate the challenges of the pandemic, and I'm confident, no matter who is elected, that the board will be able to navigate any future challenges by continuing to center what is best for all students as the basis for any tough decisions. Our district does a really great job of making sure at every single level of decision making that the focus always comes back to what guarantees the best outcomes for all students. Another issue facing District 45 is the shortage of educators. District 45 has historically had a high retention rate, but there's been a significant drop in educators entering the field, as well as a high rate of educators leaving the field. That will continue to impact our district. It's important that educators feel supported and respected within their profession, and our district will have to continue to be creative and explore ways that we can remain competitive in attracting and retaining high-quality administrators, educators, and staff. Thank you.
Ellie Mae, you know her.
Process of elimination. So I mean, Sarah and Deb both touched on this, but I feel that one of the most important things is that we need to address, you know, as a community and a school board is the safety of our children. Continued maintenance of student, staff, and safety and emergency response plans across the district, making sure that changing needs are met as far as the physical safety, mental health and well-being, and also the internet safety is continuously monitored and changed as needed. These are things that are currently continuously monitored, but I feel need to constantly be on our radar. And they are, but you know, they have meetings all the time. And then also just the continued monitoring of our special needs programming across the entire district, and not only special needs but also like our incoming, like from other countries, you know, our new, what do they call them, newcomers from other countries that needs to continuously be addressed, which it is, but I think that those are very important to our community and our state and our country and our world. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to our school board candidates very much. Next. Just housekeeping, we're just going to have you stay right there because our library is already ready over here, and then after that we'll do a little mashup. So here we go. All right. Next up we have our library board candidates. So first I will just list them and then we'll move forward. So we have Erin Payton, Laura Leishman, Diane Luker, Wanda Keller, and Adelaide Hubbard. I apologize if I mispronounced your names. Thank you for being here. You will also you'll have 2 minutes to tell us a little bit about yourselves and why you are running for library board. So first up we have Diane Luker.
Yeah. I'm on it. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening. My name is Diane Luker. In 2016, I interviewed and was appointed to fill a trustee vacancy. I am currently a library board trustee and running for re-election to the Villa Park Library as a trustee for a 4-year term. I have always been a library user and feel being a trustee giving helpful input will impact the benefits of our library, both present and in the future. I'm a Villa Park resident for 47 years. I am married to Jim for 15 years. I have 2 grown children, 2 grandsons. Both of my children attended Ardmore, Jackson, and Willowbrook, as well as participating in Scouts, sports, and ballet. Besides being the designated driver to their activities, I decided to participate too, as the treasurer of Ardmore PTA, a room mother, and assistant Brownie leader. I'm a member of the Villa Park Historical Museum and have displayed my Shawnee pottery collection at the museum. In 2005, I joined the Villa Park Public Library, who are a nonprofit group fundraising for special programs or particular items that might be outside the library's current budget. I have served as membership chair, secretary, and currently vice president. I have performed in many of the fall murder mystery plays held at the library, worked with the Historical Museum to coordinate 4 successful house walks, and volunteer at the library table during the concerts in the park and movies in the park at Cortese. I was a member of the Centennial Committee in 2014, celebrating 100 years of Villa Park. During the library referendum effort, I passed out flyers, knocked on doors, and talked to many residents, resulting in successful passage. It's been the joining, the meeting of fellow residents, the sense of community I feel, the desire to support our small businesses as much as possible that make me know I am where I'm supposed to be, right here in Villa Park. Thank you.
Next up we have Erin Payton. Feel free to adjust this microphone as your height feels needed.
How low can we go?
Hello, my name is Erin Payton, and I am running for Villa Park Library Board Trustee. Thank you to the Villa Park Women's Club for hosting this event. When I moved to Villa Park in 2016 with my husband Roger, my 3-year-old daughter, and my 1.5-year-old son, we knew nobody, not one person. The first thing I did, after unpacking of course, was sign my kids up at toddler time at the Villa Park Library. We stayed for several sessions because of Miss Heidi's kindness and energy. Over the past 9 years, Villa Park has come through for us again and again. First Schaefer, then Ardmore, and now Jackson. Nothing but superstar teachers and staff. We jumped into PTA and volunteering in our kids' classrooms. My husband has coached just about every child born between 2012 and 2016 who plays basketball and soccer. I think I'm right. I was the Girl Scout leader for Troop 55898 for several years, and we have made the Villa Park Library a regular part of our life, attending programs and events, checking out books, hanging out after school, making desperate trips to print work documents when our home printer breaks. Just last week, I escaped some loud hammering in my house and found a quiet place to work at the Villa Park Library. It really is a place that is helpful for every person. It's like a room of requirement. You never know what you're going to need it for, but it always comes through for you. My goals in joining the library board are to keep the Villa Park Library the hub of our community that it is, and to use my fundraising, programming,
Next up, we have Wanda. I don't have my intro. Okay.
Hi, I'm Wanda Keller. I'm on the Villa Park Library Board, and I'm running for re-election. A couple of popular events at the board, at the library, are the cooking classes and story time for kids. And I want to have those maintained. Also, I read a statistic that in Villa Park, after English, Spanish and Urdu are the most common languages. And so if we could seek more people who speak those languages and read the kids, that'd be great. I was on the committee when the library was reconstruction, and that was a fun time. But I love it there, and it's wonderful. And one of the speakers said, if you want to come to the library and find a thing to do and find a quiet place, it's the library. Thank you.
All right, next up we have Adelaide Hubbard.
Good evening. There we go. Technology and I don't always say Good evening. I want to thank the Villa Park Women's Club for sponsoring this. Thank you. My name is Adelaide Hubbard, and I'm a candidate for the library trustee. Actually, my nickname is Pat. So on the ballot, I will be listed as Adelaide Pat Hubbard, so I'd like you to remember that. My husband, our daughter, and I moved to Villa Park in Chicago in 1970. My husband, presently, I live at 105 North Michigan Avenue, and have lived there for 53 years. In 2006, I retired from District 45 after 37 years of working as a teacher and administrator. Since then, I continue my involvement in the library and my church, and been involved in school referenda, and they all been successful. The reason that I chose to be a candidate to serve another term is that the library is vital to our community. It is the hub. It is a place to read, explore, and enjoy. The Villa Park Library has always been an important part of my family's life. My husband was an avid reader, and my daughter truly enjoyed the programs and all the wonderful books. For me, the library continues to be a very important source for learning through books, programs, and technology. I have served as library trustee for many years, and I continue to find joy in serving. Additionally, the library director and staff are welcoming, knowledgeable, and ready to help.
I told you guys I was gonna stick to your 2 minutes, so we're gonna get you out of here on time. I promise. All right, Laura Leishman, you're up.
Hello. I would also like to thank the Villa Park Women's Club for hosting this event. As Rachel said, my name is Laura Leishman, and I am running for library trustee. I decided to run because I'm passionate about serving my community, and I believe that I can offer a fresh perspective and valuable expertise to the board. I have a PhD in physics, and I have been working as a data scientist for the past 7 years, and I've been a manager for the past 2. Beyond my professional background in science and technology, I have been an active volunteer with the Friends of the Villa Park Library for the past 2 years, and last year I had the honor to be elected as their president. In case you aren't aware, the Friends of the Library is a nonprofit organization, and we work throughout the year to raise funds to support programs and materials beyond the library's budget. Some events that we've been able to sponsor recently are the summer movies in the park that Diane mentioned, shared subscriptions to LinkedIn Learning, and the upcoming Northern Illinois Lego Train Show, so be sure to come and check it out. It's really cool. I have been a resident of Villa Park for just over 3 years, which is not very long, but I can already tell that it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. I love the small town feel of Villa Park, the wonderful bike paths, and of course, the Villa Park Library. Our library is such an important resource for our community, and I would love the opportunity to serve on its board to help ensure that it continues to thrive in the coming years. Thank you.
Our first question for the library trustees. What is your perspective on the issue of book bans in public libraries? And Wanda Keller is up first. We're not messing around here, guys. We don't want to waste your time.
I just want to say, books should not be banned. Something that should be their right to do that for their child, but do not impose your views on the whole community. That's it.
Aaron Payton, you're up next.
Seconded. But I'm also going to add, it's interesting, of the 3 questions that we received, 2 of them were of a similar vein. The other question was, what do you feel about same-sex depictions of couples in books? This means a lot to me, so I'm going to really take this one right now.
2 minutes, Aaron.
So I am the daughter of a same-sex couple, and I'm really proud to be one. I think that representation is important as a little kid to be represented, whether you're the son of child of a biracial couple, a same-sex couple, if you have special needs, anything, you should be represented in books. You should see yourself in books. And if we start the slippery slope of banning books, it starts here and it ends here. We don't even know where it's going to end. So we can't ban any books. I think having great conversations about them and what they mean to you is important. Oh, 1 minute, thank you. But I don't think as a couple as parents. I got to see it at home, but I didn't get to see it in pages. And that's why it's so great that there are so many books out there that show who we are. We understand each other better when we learn about different lifestyles. We learn about different cultures, different languages, and we need to all have them there. I love you guys. Thank you.
Well, I third that. One of the duties of the library board is to set rules and update policies and tenets which oversee the library operations. Just recently, the policy committee reviewed and presented a fundamental tenet: libraries, an American value. It basically states libraries are cornerstones of their communities with free access to books, ideas, resources, and information. They are a legacy to each generation, and certain principles must be guaranteed. We defend the constitutional rights of all individuals to use resources and services. Affirm the responsibility and right of all parents to guide their own children's use of resources. Celebrate and preserve by making available the widest possible range of viewpoints, opinions, and ideas so that all individuals can be informed, literate, educated, and culturally enriched, end quote. Banning books at libraries shouldn't be decided by any individual or board. How could I, for instance, decide a book should be banned because I didn't like it? Perhaps the language or the subject matter was offensive to me, but someone else could rise above those issues and appreciate that book. If I find an author who is offensive, I simply do not read that book, but would not demand it be banned. Buildings are made of bricks, but if you start pulling out some of the bricks, the building will be compromised and start to crumble. Libraries are made of books, and see where I'm going with this? By the way, the library board adopted the tenet. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so sorry.
Well, I'm pleased that it's unanimous so far. Our library endorses the American Library Association and the Illinois Library Association. In their publication, Freedom to Read, it states that freedom to read is essential to our democracy. It also states, we believe that free communication is essential to the preservation of a free society and creative culture. And as a member of the American Library Association and Illinois, I support their stance. I do not support book bans. As a reader, I know some books can be offensive, so I don't check them out or I don't read them. But I do not think that I have a right to make that decision for anyone else. I think that public library boards have to start making the decision for their communities. And our library board, as Diane indicated, we did adopt the tenet, so we are not going to ban books. And as of now, our state position in public libraries our state's position as public libraries are not to support book bans. If a library chooses to do so, it puts their state funding at risk at this point. So I am pleased you're clapping so much for no book ban.
All right, guys, we have a full slate of non-book I do not believe in book bans or censorship of materials or programs at the library. But I do understand why this is a question that we got submitted, because it's a question that I've heard often when I was out talking to residents of Villa Park. So I understand why people are concerned. But my belief here is simple. Individuals should have the freedom to choose what they read, but no one, including the library board, should have the power to choose and decide what others can and cannot access. I was reading the library website the other day, and I stumbled upon the mission statement of the library. I'm not as well versed in all the policies, but I'm working on it. But the library mission is to, quote, to serve the cultural, social, and community needs of a diverse population by providing equitable access to resources. The diversity of people and their beliefs in Villa Park is an asset to our community, and censoring books or materials, programs based on the beliefs of one group would be a disservice to the community. Diverse books and programs offer a powerful opportunity for those without those experiences to learn about different perspectives, and for people with those experiences to see representation of themselves in literature. I am fully aligned with the library's mission, and I'm committed to ensuring that the library remains an inclusive and welcoming place where everyone can see their needs and interests represented. Thank you.
Our second question for our library board candidates. Are you aware that at least 3 library staff members have resigned in the past 6 months? How do you plan to address this issue? And Diane, you are up first.
Thank you for lowering the boom. I would like to see our library fully staffed and stay that way forever. Wouldn't that be nice? Then there's reality. I think positions at public facilities are harder than they look. Village Hall, Public Works, libraries require day-to-day adjustments and face-to-face with residents. There's training to learn your job. Maintain composure with a reasonably happy face to help someone maneuver the library computer or copier. Attend meetings, learn first aid and CPR, tornado drills, and the list goes on. Just when all positions are filled, someone gives notice that they are moving on. Closer to home, better pay, going back to school, opportunity to advance, or retired. Lots of reasons, all legitimate, but frustrating to begin the task of posting the positions, beginning the interviews, selections, training all over again. Every person taking a new job doesn't necessarily plan to leave right away, but it happens. To be honest, in my own work life, I have gone through several job changes because it just wasn't the right fit, and I knew it almost immediately. There is a 5% there is a 5% cap on tax increases for the library. So salaries, building maintenance, supplies, and everything else must adhere to the budget. Starting salaries are comparable with other communities. Our library does have long-standing employees, and we will continue the effort to encourage and maintain our staff. Thank you.
When I started telling Villa Park friends about deciding to run for the library board, one of the responses that stood out to me was from 2 moms at my son's basketball game at the rec center who asked me about staff turnover. So I asked around the library, and it turns out my friends are right. There has been increased turnover with staff. Obviously, like Diane said, there's lots of reasons why people leave a job, right? Moving and all that, but it sounds like pay has been kind of the main deciding factor for leaving. Whereas the higher level staff, their salaries are great. Some of the lower level staff are not quite as high. Approximately 65% of the Villa Park Library's expenses comes from staffing, which is close to industry standard. I had the pleasure of meeting with Library Director Sandy Hill. I really enjoyed our conversation. It was evident that she truly cares about the library staff. But even if your manager is amazing, if you see that neighboring libraries are paying more, you might get tempted to update your resume. So how do you increase pay without hiking property taxes again? That's where I come in. I have been a nonprofit professional for over 15 years. I'm currently the Director of Mission Operations for Mothers Against Drunk Driving, overseeing 10 states. I know everything there is to know about administration, fundraising, budgeting, all of that good stuff. I will use my skills to dig around for grants. Grants are such a great way to supplement revenue as they can cover both programmatic and operating expenses. I'll also partner with the Friends of the Library to increase donations from current fundraising events and workshop new fundraising ideas. I'd love to be on the board to use my nonprofit experience and advise the team in gaining, developing, and retaining staff to help in staff attrition. Thank you.
Adelaide Hathaway.
It is true, staffing has been a challenge these past months. Our library director would report open positions at our board meeting and positions filled. And then the next month, those positions might be filled, but others were now open. So it was a cycle. Last board meeting, it was reported that we're almost fully staffed. And we clapped. Almost. People are leaving, as Diane said, for various reasons. Some being working part-time, but they really need full-time work. More money, family situations. The staff changes are really difficult because new staff require training and time to grow into the position. While it also makes it very difficult adding new initiatives if the present staff is always bringing the new staff up to speed. It is true our wages and salaries are not as competitive as they could be to our surrounding areas. And as a board, we've been working with the library director to address the issue. And this can be challenging within our budget because, as Diane said, we're the tech staff and you have to address that. So, we want to maintain and retain staff. So, we're working on it. So, what else can I say about it?
I don't think the library is unique in hiring new people. I think that's happening everywhere. Did you know that at the library, if you are a staff member, you can earn more by helping with passports and earning and becoming a notary public? And so those opportunities are open to staff. I can't really say why people leave, but it's true that they're leaving because of opportunities for family or something. But I think it's a great place to work. That's it.
So sorry everyone. Next up is Laura. So keep going. nope, I'm not in my position, Laura, you're up over there.
Yes, I was aware of the turnover. I've been attending the library board meetings for the past 8 or so months, 6 to 8 months. And I've heard about it every board meeting that I've attended. From my perspective, it seems that, as my fellow candidates have said, most employees are leaving because our neighboring libraries offer more competitive pay. And unfortunately, when employees leave, we not only lose a community member, because our librarians and employees at the library are part of our community, we lose their knowledge and experience too. And hiring and training replacements takes both time and resources that our library is already limited on. Having an understaffed library can impact the remaining employees and residents, leading to further retention problems. And I would like to note, as I've observed at the board meetings, the current board and director are already making progress towards this issue and improving our competitive pay position. If I'm elected, I would push to allocate more of the budget to improve our competitive stance in terms of wages. As a data scientist, I solve complex problems creatively every day, and I think this expertise would be valuable in finding innovative ways to improve wages and staying within the budget. Retaining staff at the library means maintaining the high quality service that our community relies on, and this should be a top priority. Thank you.
Thank you very much, library candidates. A question was brought to our attention as to how many people you can vote for in each of these selections. So here's your answer. For our library board, you can vote for no more than 4. For our school board, you can vote for not more than 4. And very shortly, we're going to take a very, very quick break, at which point we will talk to village trustees, for which you can vote for not more than 3, and of course for village president you can vote for 1. So thank you again to our school board candidates and our library candidates. We will take a no longer than